anybody can say one thing and your song can get knocked out. But you have to fight all the time in this business to the hustle of making sure your song stays on. So of the 4,000 songs I've written, 1,000, let's say, got onto records, album tracks and all that. Of those, 80 ended up on the top 40. Of those 80, maybe 20 in the top 20. Of those 20, maybe 10 in the top 5, or, maybe 6 or 7 number ones. So it took 4,000 songs to get, like a handful, of number one records.
That's brilliant.
But I never gave up. And I was working, and, I had a great inspiration, which was Diane Warren, because she was one of my best friends.
She's a hustler too.
But she is like a fierce rival. So if I called her and it was a Saturday, oh, I'm in my office writing, can I call you back? She's writing? Why am I not writing? If her lights are on, my lights have to be on. And so
love it.
That's why, I've been kind of maniacal in terms of my work ethic. And, that's why I've got a book called Living on a Prayer, Big Songs, Big Life, because it's been a big life of making it, because I grew up very poor.
Yeah.
My mother was a songwriter. She was a kind of bohemian, kind of lost person in a way. But she always was working on her poems and her songs. She worked at Burger King during the day. On the weekends, she was always gone. She was out there making her demos. Then that night, she would go to nightclubs and try to get her songs with the artists that were singing. And so she always said, well, someday we're going to live in a mansion on Miami Beach, because we lived in Liberty City in the projects. And so eventually I came back to Miami. I bought 4 mansions. And I gave her one, and I drove around in a little golf cart from one to the other. It was all within 2 blocks, and that's where we, reinvented Latin music, with Ricky Martin.
Is that where the Gentleman's Club was?
The Gentleman's Club studio, yeah.
Yeah, I never got to see that, but I got to.
Now it can't be gentlemen's; it's got to be gentle persons. Gentle other people, other kinds of people.
Gentle it?
Gentle it.
Gentle it club. Dude. Okay, my first experience, I'll just jump right into this. That was one of the craziest, most unique sessions, but such a music business session. And I'll tell it from my perspective, and I want to, correct me if I do anything wrong, say anything wrong, but I remember the Gentleman's Club because you guys had maybe the first Pro Tools.
Yes.
Something about cutting edge.
We were one of the satellite Pro Tools studios. And I decided to save space because I built my studio in this garage that was part of my house. But we made it look like an English gentleman's club, with library, paintings. It had a fish tank and a leather couches. I mean, people would go in there and they never saw a studio that looked like that.
Of course not.
And so, so we were trying to miniaturize everything. And so then came these Mackie boards and the Pro Tools.
Yep.
And then it was Slow Tools.
Oh, dude.
We'd have breakdowns, like, 19 of them a day. I drove one of my artists crazy because we were breaking our teeth on it. Billy Myers, I think I gave her a nervous breakdown with these breakdowns.
I was on that one too.
But I put it in my mind, to make the ultimate, Millennium Song from Hell, Draco and I, and it would be all digital, part of the new millennium.
Right.
And so we created Livin La Vida Loca, all in the box.
In the box.
All in the box. And it made it all the way to number 1.
Oh, yeah.
And the Wall Street Journal, made note of it, almost like Alexander Graham Bell. Yeah. Like we had done something completely, unique and futuristic that had never been done before. And last year, that recording, not only just the song, the recording and the performance, all of it, was inducted into the Library of Congress National Registry of Recorded Music.
Oh, being the first. Would that be the first Pro Tools or digital?
Yes, to make it all the way went to one.